In this video, we're going to be talking about big map changes to fan favorite Split. We all know that Split is actually coming back, but it's getting a ton of changes, and we got to break it all down because the map is going to be a lot different, and you got to be prepared if you want to succeed in ranked. But the GameLeap website has everything you need if you want to climb in this new act. Tips and tricks, pro breakdowns, VOD reviews, and everything that you could want in order to improve. So what are you waiting for? Go check it out right now in the description down below. Now, yesterday, the new map LOTUS got revealed, and it looks pretty freaking sick. We only have a still image at this point, but it's going to be a 3-site map, and it's going to be based on a lot of ancient civilization temples, and it looks really freaking cool, and I'm excited for the full reveal of that. But today, we got some even more news, because we do know that Split is coming back, but we didn't know that it was going to get some big changes, and I hypothesized that this would be true. I mean, it seems kind of strange to remove a map for a very long time, have all this time to work on it, and then not work on it. So yeah, let's break down some of the things that they did. First off, we got to talk about that A site. If we look at that area directly when you entered the site on the left side, it used to be a dip area where you could actually hide underneath, and you no longer can do that. You can no longer hide underneath. There's a special cutout now for the left side when you initially enter, but it's cut out specifically with the box, and there's also not like the random plant box on the left side. It's attached to the cutoff. And on top of that, the random plant isn't like there just in the middle of the site on the left side attached to the wall, which felt pretty frustrating when enemies were camping behind it. It felt like you always had to clear it, and it's a little bit easier to clear now, a little bit safer to clear now because you could do it in steps. There's also slight changes to the initial opening to the site on A. Now what was once a box is now just like a little bit of a rectangle on the initial opening, and it does add some extra corners that an enemy could potentially hide behind if you're trying to be aggressive on defense, which is a little bit interesting to say the least. Don't know exactly how that's going to play out in game. Now we also have the initial attacking area on A. There is 2 forms of elevation now. There's little stairs that go down and then a little railing on the right side that you can actually peek from slightly higher elevation. So any enemy that is holding the top of the ramps, they are actually going to have to play around different potential peaks, and I think that's overall a good thing. So it's not as easy just to line up a perfect headshot on the enemy that is swinging through. Definitely increases the attack power on offense though. Now, a change that I actually really like is on top of rafters on A, instead of having these 2 mini ramps and then this mid slide ramp that kind of push towards the back of the top site, now it's just one ramp that pushes towards the back wall of the site, which I think just looks a little bit cleaner and is less complicated, because it felt like before it was like complicated just because it wanted to be complicated. Like it was like just trying to be different. I think that that's happened a lot with some of the original Valorant maps, is they put things in on the map that were just like weird obstructions and weird things that they could just throw on it just because they could, when a simpler map just makes more sense and it's easier to comprehend. Now, there are also changes to the B site, and these changes are actually pretty interesting. If we look at the little cubby that was underneath rafters on B, right? It used to be a perfect little tuck-in cubby, a 90-degree angle cubby, and now it is slanted. So it's a little bit easier to clear, and in addition to that, it's not as easy to hold. Like, it's going to be pretty unrealistic to hold this in the same way that you were holding it before. So I think this is actually going to slightly weaken the defender's side, at least with this specific change. And then going on to actual heaven, we can look at the box no longer has that trash can and all that debris on it. It's now just a box. There is still the right plant, so you can still hop up on the box, but I always felt like the trash can and all that weird debris was just strange, more like obstruction for the sake of it. I know that you could get on top of it and things like that, but it just was more complexity, more weird complexity that we've seen on a lot of maps, and I think that Pearl got a lot better when they made things more simple. They trimmed up a lot of the angles. Same thing with frickin' Fracture. It seems that they are moving towards a direction where things are a lot less random. The map geometry is trimmed up a lot, and things make more cohesive sense and are simpler. Now, last but certainly not least, we do got to talk about mid, and now it's going to be a hop-up box on that bottom right side where the cans were. It not only looks better, but it has tactical use as well, and then the stairs are a bit more compressed now. So that is another change that is happening. And all in all, I actually like a lot of these changes. I think that they make a lot of sense. Things are going to be more trimmed up, more clear, and the map is going to look better. But if I'm being honest with you, I don't really care about all these changes because I just want to play the damn map. Like, I actually miss Split. Is that weird? I didn't really like this map that much when I played it back in the day, but now I miss it. Now I actually want to play it. It's just because they took it away for so long, like, I'm excited. And I'm actually glad that they didn't change the map up completely and fundamentally because I miss Split how I remember it. And maybe you do too. So it's going to be pretty exciting when this comes back. But definitely let me know what you think about these changes. How do you feel about Split coming back into the map pool? How do you feel about the new map Lotus? And make sure you smash that like, subscribe. Plus, go to the GameLeap website for tips, tricks, guides, and everything you need to climb. And we'll see you next time.